Humana, 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 humana. Who is this? Oh.
That's my mom.
Awkward.
What am I getting myself into? This is one of Universal's many kind of awful adaptations of the original, the Cat in the Hat book, this sentient book for children that I'm sure everyone has heard of. It turned into this.
Dirty hoe. I'm sorry, baby. I love you.
Come on, Cat!
This almost monstrosity. I mean, Dr. Seuss should be ashamed. I guess this is kind of karma for what Dr. Seuss did to his wife. If you guys didn't know, Dr. Seuss cheated on his wife for years with his side chick that he had, while his wife had cancer. So, I guess karma's a bitch in some ways. I remember watching this movie as a kid, and my grandma had it on DVD, and we would watch it, me and my brother. And my grandpa, if we ever had it on, he hated it. I never wondered why, because as a kid, you don't really, you see something, you're not like a movie critic on something. Well, it's a special place in my heart. I rewatched it for this video, and honestly, it's so good, but it's so bad at the same time. Let's just get right into it. Our movie starts out at Humberflu's estate, and it begins with the scene that if you've seen this movie before, you probably know what it is, and it sticks in your brain. I'll just play it for you guys here.
Mick Flanagan!
Mr. Humberflu, I wanted to thank you.
Fired.
I beg your pardon?
Fired.
But I...
And then we meet Joan Walden. She is hosting the workplace's bi-monthly meet and greet party, and the dude wants to be all clean and stuff. She wants her kids to be on the best behavior. Then we leave Humberflu's and turn left on Main. We go 3 miles down to Lip Lapper Lane. Then we meet the stereotypical movie kids. One of them's a brat, and then one of them is the goody two-shoes girl. And obviously they're gonna have an arc at the end of the movie. I mean, come on. And then we meet the neighbor, aka Alec Baldwin, and he is trying to marry the kid's mother. And he also wants to send Conrad off to military school. Why? I honestly have no idea. I guess he just hates him, but he likes the girl, so. Then the mom goes off to work, and we meet the babysitter, Mrs. Quinn, who does really nothing in this movie but give us a nice little racist joke there, so. Then we finally meet the cat in a horror movie-like scene where he haunts the kids. And then we have Mike Myers laugh in this. It is so overused in this movie. It's funny like this first 10 times, but I'm sure Universal forced him to do that over and over again, just like they forced him to do this movie. The cat quickly tells us where he came from.
Where did you come from?
How do I put this?
When a mommy cat and a daddy cat love each other very much, they decide that...
Oh, no.
And then we get a scene which tells us what we already knew. Conrad is a rule breaker, and Sally is a control freak. And then we get...
Boy, that wasn't fun. He never learned you can have fun. But less is more. They may shoot.
A wacky scene where the cat sings about fun. What else could it be? A lot of the scenes in this movie don't make any sense, because a lot of them feel like there was a deleted scene before or something, because it makes no sense how you can go to talking about the fish to this. Then we get a scene with the lawyers, and then we learn that the cat is neutered.
This is nothing. Scratch this.
Something that we did not need to learn, but they thought we should. After the signing of the contracts, we get the cat as a handyman, and then we get them jumping on a couch and the neighbor catching them. But the neighbor only came there for some booze and a sandwich, so, yeah. They transition to an actual funny scene I like with the amazing cupcake-inator that can make cupcakes out of anything. And this anything joke leads to threatening murder.
I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident.
And even the cat chopping off his own tail.
Cat, your tail.
What about it? Oh, I see. I've chopped it off. Well, that's interesting because... Son of a bitch!
Why are there 3 cats in this scene? Don't ask questions. Then the oven explodes, the cupcake flies everywhere, and some slight animal abuse later, we get this.
Honey, it was ruined when she bought it. Yeah.
I told...
Then, nearly 40 minutes into this film, the cat introduces the box, aka the main story of this film. The box contains Thing 1 and Thing 2, who have scenes that go on for way too long. Thing 1 and Thing 2 are here to resolve the problem of the cupcake being on the wall, so they splatter it on the couch, and to get it off the couch, they... Oh no.
What is that?
Thing 1 and Thing 2 wreak havoc while Conrad and Sally try to chase them down, and they even kill an elderly woman. The cat tells them that the Thing 1 and Thing 2 do always with the opposite of what they say, and then Sally says, remind you of someone, and then the cat goes. Then we learn Larry Quinn, aka the boss baby, is actually a slob and is poor, and I don't get how he's supposed to marry the kid's mom whenever he is broke and a slob, because he's been putting on an act that he's not broke or slob, so eventually it's going to catch up with him. Now the kids are on an adventure to go get their dog Nevin's back. We get a joke about a dirty hoe, and we arrive at a kid's birthday party, and Sally realizes all the kids at the birthday party are people she knows, and that she sadly was not invited. I wonder why, though. But they all have to hide very quickly because the kids come outside to open up a pinata, and Cat doesn't fit where the kids were hiding, so he has to become the pinata, resulting in an iconic scene.
This cannot end well.
After the scene, Boss Baby captures the dog, so they have to go after the dog in the
Super hydraulic instantaneous transporter.
You mean
No! Quick to the slow!
But after a few jokes and gaffes, Boss Baby gets to the real estate office to tell Joan that the dog was missing. But they do get Neville back because they convince Larry to sign a petition with a giant pen, and they run into a secret underground party place. And for some reason Paris Hilton is here. Yikes. In a kids movie? They eventually catch up with Thing 1 and Thing 2 inside of Alec Baldwin's car. Larry tries to get Joan back to her house quickly, but they were stopped by the Things, pretending to be cops and falsely pulling them over. While distracting Joan, Larry steals their bike and tries to get home faster. Larry comes home to a spotless house, and the cat greeting him there, and some terrible CGI, he falls into his death. Although the actual sets and non-CGI are actually pretty good in this scene. They have to close the crate to stop all this madness, but eventually they ride on Mrs. Kwan's dead corpse like a ride at.
Like at Universal Studios. Cha-ching.
They eventually close the crate, but nearly sacrifice Sally's life, and the house goes back to normal, but it also destroys itself in the process. Oh, and look, Alec Baldwin is not dead. Cat finally learns that his actions have consequences, and the kids also learn that his jokes aren't funny anymore, as if they ever were. But hey, do you remember that contract earlier? As long as they learn from their mistakes, the cat can clean up the house, so everything works out. And we get a cleaning montage and Smash Mouth, because it is 2003. The house gets clean, the dog gets abused a little bit more, and remember that thing earlier, the phonometer? Well, they bring it back, and the kids are good now. Before they were not good, but now they are. I did not see that one coming. The cat leaves, and Joan walks into the house to see the house is spotless, like she told them to leave it. Alec Baldwin walks in covered in goop and he gives the ridiculous story on what just happened, and of course they do not believe him, so he gets rejected and kicked out. I'm sure if there ever will be another movie, he will probably be in a mental institution if we do see him. The party is a hit with Joan's boss. It is all clean like he wanted it to be, and the cupcakes are amazing, and it ends with a happy ending. Joan bounces on the couch with the kids as a throwback to what happened earlier. At the end, it's revealed for the cat to be the narrator, but we all know that isn't true, and he dances off into the sunset with the things. People actually thought that there was going to be a sequel of this movie, but I mean, Mike Myers was forced to do this, so I'm sure he wouldn't do it again if they asked him to. But the widow of Dr. Seuss saw this movie, and she wished for no more live-action adaptations of this book, which, I mean, is kind of good. This movie has a special place in my heart, and still does, but after this rewatch, I'm gonna bury it into the back of my brain. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.